Hello everyone, my name is Chris. Mid-season 2 of the finals has been out for some time, and I feel like it is a perfect time for me to give you my honest opinion about pretty much every single weapon in the finals. We will take a look at heavy, medium, and light weapons that are absolute best in slot. I will talk about them, and then we will go lower, lower, and lower. And best in slot weapons will allow you to win your duels more efficiently. They will allow you to interrupt enemies that are trying to steal the cash out. It's going to be a lot easier for you to steal the cash out from enemies, and overall you're going to have better KD and win rate. This tier list is going to be competitive, so if you are a casual player and really enjoy playing the weapon I'm going to place lower than you expected, please don't write a comment about that, because not only that this is kind of cringe, but also what's the point, right? So I'd like to start off with heavy, because there were a lot of interesting ideas and concepts people are trying in the mid-season 2 patch of the finals. So obviously the best and absolute best in slot weapon for the heavy class is going to be a Lewis gun, and people usually go for RPG bubble and barricade, and this combination allows you to be deadly at pretty much every single possible range. You can be deadly up close, you can be deadly at the mid range, as well as you can help your lights, mediums, and other heavy players with some poke damage on enemies that are further, because I highly doubt you will be able to cook up a person that quick using something like a shotgun. Lewis gun is incredibly versatile, and it was super duper overpowered when the barricade was a little lower, but still an absolute S tier weapon, and there is nothing that comes close to this gun. So I would say that if you are not using Lewis gun in the current meta, my bubble disappeared actually. If you are not using the Lewis gun in the current meta, you are actually wasting on the potential. Moving on to second best weapon for the heavy class, and it's going to be a shotgun. It is actually going to be a shotgun. This skin looks pretty interesting, to say the least. I feel like throughout the whole season 1 and a little bit of season 2, shotgun was a complete menace. People were playing double heavy, and it was one of the most cringe compositions you can possibly run to. You can dominate the competition without even trying. Shotgun is a very low skill floor, skill ceiling weapon. It means that a 10-year-old boy that never touched FPS games can pick up shotgun, and he would have sort of impact on the game. And you can never say that about a Lewis gun or any other difficult to use weapons. But after they actually nerfed the shotgun, we've entered one of the best heavy medium lights, one of the most balanced heavy medium lights metas. Unfortunately, developers decided to, nerf light to the ground, so now we are back at double heavy. And if you're playing double heavy, I've seen some players do like one person go in Lewis gun, one person go in shotgun, but at the end of the day, it's not important, and I would honestly stick to double Lewis gun if you're playing double heavy composition. So this weapon obviously has its cons. Like, I would definitely kill a person with a Lewis gun right here, but shotgun will just never allow me to do that. Not only that, but in the current state of the game, you don't have the chance to close up the distance, because everyone is playing Scar, everyone is playing like LH1, everyone is playing MP5, and as well as Lewis guns, right? And you only have a few options on a heavy class, right? You can just like press this thing and then like walk forward, which is going to be very, very unreliable, and you find yourself in situations where your shield, which is 750 HP, is going to be broken way before you can close up the reliable distance to kill people on a shotgun. So another option, you can use the jump pad, whether you're using Mega on certain game modes, or you have a medium that's using it, and then you like go for this, and then you cook up a person like that. But then again, it's just very, very unreliable, and you absolutely cannot, you absolutely cannot trust your shotgun anymore. This is going to be an A tier weapon. Now let's talk about B tier. M60. There was a lot of confusion in the community about this weapon, and I still see people use it, and they are like, oh, M60 Chris, but this is very, very good. On paper it has better damage per magazine, it has more bullets, it is just so much better than Lewis gun. Why are you not using it? And the reason is very, very simple. Not only you need faster time to kill, because this game has very small windows of opportunity on heavy where you can shoot, because imagine you are swinging the corner, right? So who told you that you can shoot all your 70 bullets? And if you only have the chance to shoot like this and then you hide behind your stuff? Well, like, I shot 8 bullets. I want those 8 bullets to be the most efficient 8 bullets in the world. And I can only do that with a Lewis gun because, again, I'm gate capped by recoil, which is absolutely awful. I have extraordinary good aim, and it is difficult for me to kill this person, right? That's just standing still. Like, if I were to go up against a really, really high level player, I'm just gonna miss every shot and miss an opportunity to kill him, right? It's really, really easy when an opponent is standing still, but you know, when he moves left and right, like, your recoil is just super unreliable. As you can see, it like moves left, right, and only at the end it's somewhat bearable. But who told you that you will actually go through all of this without being unharmed yourself? So this is exactly why M60 is not the great weapon in the current state of the game. You just don't have the opportunity to use its full potential. Sure, if enemy players are off position, they're playing like idiots, you will find yourself in a situation where this weapon is gonna shine, but again, like, you go up against any diamond player and he just destroy you in a 1 versus 1. And finally, the last semi-optional weapon for the heavy class is going to be a flamethrower. Flamethrower has its time and place, and I mean, I'm probably gonna make a video about it. I'm actually very curious to try it out, but again, fundamentally, it possesses the same fundamental issue which every single melee weapon has: range. Oh no, so you tell me that I am only useful. By the way, flamethrower is actually busted, no? Like, I can shoot forever, no? What? Are my ammo getting depleted faster if I... No. Very strange. Well, alright, so we might bump flamethrower a little bit up because it's really, really easy to use. It has no skill floor, meaning that, like, you just look at the direction of a player and he dies, right? But again, like, if a player is from this range, he can just run away from me. And it's really unreliable, especially on the game modes with longer distances, such as Monaco, Duck and Cover, Soul. You just end up in a situation where you cannot close the distance with enemies. By the way, this looks really cool. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna record a video on a flamethrower. I don't care. I'm gonna throw for my teammates. I'm gonna lose my rank, but this is gonna be the next video. So flamethrower, really good, unreliable, doesn't have range. So this is going to be B tier for now, maybe like A- in certain game modes. I would say that on Monaco, if you'd be able to close up the distance and play like corners, if you were to play inside the rooms, you will end up in situations where this weapon is gonna shine the brightest. Quite literally, directly and indirectly. And now let's talk about all the rest of the weapons. Garbage, absolute unreliable garbage. I have no idea why this is even in the game, or if it would be in the game, they need to balance it in the sense that it would compete against ranged weapons, because this is like what, ancient era, caveman kind of style, and then you have like this. So of course, this will never be stronger than the Lewis gun, except the fact that developers can go absolute bonkers and make it. Absolute no time and place in competitive. You're just gonna die from cringe. Again, incredibly unreliable. You cannot close up the distance. Everyone is just gonna run away from you, and disaster. It's gonna turn out to be a big freaking disaster if you were to use a sledgehammer. The same problem with this. I mean, like, sure, you can break like walls and everything with it, but like, I don't know, these are terrible weapons. Like, you have to be incredibly I don't know. No, this is absolute garbage. Forget about using those. Alright, moving on to my favorite medium class, and absolute best in slot weapon for the medium in the current state of the game is going to be Scar. And A lot of players were like, well, Chris, but on paper, AK-47 is so much better. It almost has the same TTK. It almost has, yeah, the TTK is the same, the damage is the same, but it has more ammo. Thus, you have to use AK now. Absolutely wrong. Not only the biggest advantage of the Scar is his range, and ability to kill a person reliably from that range is actually worth a lot, but also it has great iron sight. Well, not the iron sight, but like the red dot, which allows you to be more accurate. And I understand that on paper, you have situations where certain weapons feel stronger than others, but then you don't see ease of use, fun, accuracy, how difficult it is to like implement those things, because it doesn't matter how strong your weapon is. If you cannot shoot it, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be fundamentally awful. And with Scar, oh my god, 25 bullets is more than enough. Remember guys, this is a fast-paced game where you have small windows of opportunity to make big difference. And if you are playing AK, you are missing on those. Like, the difference between winning and losing the game is literally in a single bullet that you will hit or miss on an enemy light that's trying to escape. And if he would escape, he would reset, he would save his teammates, and then they would just reapproach and kill you because you are out of utility. Well, with Scar, chances that you will not have problems like this. Moving on to second best weapon in slot, and this is gonna be AK. This is gonna be AK. Of course, they like buffed it a little bit. Like it's unreliable. I already feel how unreliable this is for me to kill enemies from far. Not only don't have any zoom, but also the iron sight makes it way worse because of the visual recoil and everything. I absolutely love this weapon. I feel like I am the die-hard AK fan, but in the current state of the game, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is not the weapon that you use, because AK was absolutely great in Season 1, where you would want to shoot utility instead of shooting people, but in the current state of the game, when medium is playing behind his heavy, he is very, very useless. He wants to go an off angle, he wants to take duels, and if you were to take a duel against an AK player, chances that you're gonna win most of the time if you were guys both have the same impact, because Scar still has a little better time to kill, and it's a lot easier for you to kill enemies with it. So even though AK is great, and it's certainly A+ tier weapon, it is not best in slot for the medium. Number 3 weapon is going to be Model 1887. Unfortunately, I don't have the skin on this character, but it's absolutely fine. Maybe we can actually go and swap for the skin, because Model 1886 without this pay-to-win skin is absolutely garbaggio. All right. Prove me wrong. Okay, not only you have better line of sight, but then again, this is just so much more. Oh my god, I love this weapon already. Boom. And then this is mwah, chef's kiss. This is absolute chef's kiss. This weapon is great. This weapon is absolutely great, and a lot of players would find it very, very fun to use. Probably the most fun weapon that you can use on medium. Problem is that you want to close the distance, and you really don't want to close the distance, right? Because people have barricades, mines, mesh, RPG, all that stuff that you are really afraid on medium, because even though you have 250 HP, you are incredibly fragile, and the only way you can actually like feel useful is like right here on a distance like this, where you can like 2-tap mediums. But then again, this weapon is just very, very unreliable. The difference between you hitting a person for half HP and not like missing every single bullet is in the few millimeters, right? You hit him like this and that's just not enough. You don't have bullets and you die. So even though this weapon is fundamentally great, I feel like it has no time and place in competitive, because you're just gonna be outranged by Scar. You're just gonna get out poked by AK, and also you cannot destroy utility, which is like your main priority as medium, right? You want your heavy to shoot another heavy without mesh, without bubble, without APS, without turret, without mines, and without C4s, and none of that can be achieved using this weapon. So it's not the best in that regard. Other than that, this I don't know what to say about FAMAS. Pretty bad. I would say that it's like, yeah, it looks great, it looks awesome. But realistically, will you be able to use it like that in game when opponents are not standing still or not like pressing W in your direction? I feel like time to kill is worse, and then you just don't have enough ammo. It feels like 35 ammo would be a perfect middle ground for this weapon. 27 is just it's just not enough. It's like 9 bursts of it, and yeah, after like it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, like, and then usually like yeah, if you are great, you can kill 2 medium players without reloading, but realistically you probably won't. Again, I need to test this weapon a little bit more and then tell you guys, but I haven't seen a single player using this weapon. I haven't seen a single person glazing FAMAS in the current meta, so chances that it's just terrible and not an hidden meta, right? Other weapons are absolutely horrific, super terrible. Like this garbage just has insane weapon bloom to the point where you don't even understand where the hell are you shooting. Yes, headshot damage deals a lot of damage, and you can absolutely raise people from existence, but realistically speaking, you will not have that in game, right? Like your headshot percentage is going to be super freaking low because again, you have very small windows of opportunity to capitalize on the fact that you can shoot, and then you would have to play natural cover, you would have to heal your teammates, and then like switching from heal to this, and it's just very, very ugly. I don't like this. This is just yeah. All right, and this also absolutely freaking atrocious. Alrighty, it's time to move to my favorite light class, and probably one of your best weapon is not picking this class because it's absolutely dead. You can still play it, but you're gonna lose 10 games out of 10 against a proper double heavy team that is on your level or above. As well as you just not going to be extremely present on the point in the current state of the game, in the current meta where people are playing double heavy. They just throw 2 bubbles through meshes, 2 meshes, 1 APS, and what the hell are you supposed to do against that? Especially if you are not playing stun gun. But even if you play stun gun, it's utterly useless to do it because people can just like turn around, press Q, go for a little mesh shield action and completely destroy you without any chance of you doing anything. Like, of course, XP54 is a great weapon, is absolute best in slot weapon for medium. It's very you can feel very safe making mistakes with this weapon because it allows you to do it, right? Because of how many bullets it has and then the damage and everything. It's just great. It's just great. It allows you to be an idiot sometimes. It allows you to miss shots in comparison with LH1, which we'll talk about later, which is going to be the second best in slot weapon. The main problem is that everything kills you. Like you have absolute no chance against heavy players. Your invis is utterly slow and like very, very visible at this moment. So I don't really see lights like being played in the current meta, especially at the high level of ranked play. People are abstaining from this class for the better because developers overcooked. There is nothing great you can do on light class right now. There is just nothing good on it. I would go as far to say as I don't want glitch grenades. I would rather go stun gun. Maybe frag, stun, and then TP is gonna be the way to go. I would have to test it again, but still, like XP 54 is making this weapon, or excuse me, class somewhat viable, but again, like if you were to compare this with Mesh, Bubble, RPG, Barricade, Heavy, it's just a wasted potential. Second best in slot weapon is LH1, as I've said earlier, and this weapon is just gonna completely destroy you if you make mistakes and if you miss your shots. Like, the problem with LH1 is that you wanna play like a sniper setup, and when you're doing that, you're never going to be in time to steal the cash out, you're never going to be in time to defend the cash out, as well as the fact that if you close the distance and miss a single shot on a player like this, he's just going to kill you. Like, the time to kill is very, very similar to medium, and medium has a way easier weapon to play, which is like Scar, right? You don't need to do anything to be good with Scar, but then like it takes ton of practice to be good with LH1. And then there are certain map geometry which will not allow you to close up the distance like that, which will not allow you to keep the distance, because again, if you're fighting in the like enclosed environment, how the hell are you supposed to use LH1 to the full potential? Like, sure, I'm window climbing, there is a person here, I know that I would reliably kill it by using XP54. Will I be able to kill it with LH1? Highly doubt it, highly doubt it. And this is just a wasted potential and a terrible thing about light. All right, moving on to third best in slot weapon, and let me actually see. I'm gonna surprise you, but sword is gonna be a third best in slot weapon because it will allow you to do this. Boom, you do this, you do animation cancel, and then you double tap medium. I'm not an idiot by saying that, I'm not trolling you. Sword is actually insane. I have died more times by the sword players than by M11 players, right? Because of how overpowered this thing is. Like, you just boom, boom, and then a person dies from cringe. Nothing you can do. Boom, and then you can do a little animation cancel. You do that by going for a swing, and then you press your sound button, right? So you do this, and then you do sound button, and then you can do it again. Boom. And then you do sound button, and then you cook. Sword is incredibly powerful. It's really difficult to track it. You are fast. You're like, I highly advise you to check the Vayne guy on Twitch. It's VAIN, absolute goat of the sword. I learned how to play sword from this guy, and I had so much fun doing that. Like, if you have friends that don't care about results and would actually help you learn the sword, you can become a really, really good player. Especially if your aim is not that good, you will be able to overshadow players by using this weapon. And oh my god, it is really good. It is really good. M11 still has time and place in the current meta, but again, you close up the distance, you get RPG, like, I understand when you are closing up the distance on medium, you still have a room to breathe, you still have a room to error. With this weapon, you don't. You have 150 HP, you really don't want to be close. And then, like, this is just, oh my god, this is awful, bro. This is absolutely terrible, man. This is way worse than I expected. So M11, pretty terrible. This weapon, I mean, if you really like clicking, sure, you can go for it, but in reality, like, realistically speaking, are you going to... Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, pistol, definitely not it as well. And other weapons are very niche, not useful, absolutely nerfed to the ground. This is just gonna be a joke. You're gonna lose every single 1v1 with this, and very unreliable, not hit scan. Opinion rejected. So this is going to be it for today's tier list. Let me know in the comment section what do you think. See you in the next one. Take care.